Hello, I'm Patrick Sharry, and I'll be working with you at the Alumni Refresher Day. You should already have received a link to the Ant Financial case, which we'll be using as part of the day to really drive a conversation about the potential of the digital economy and what it means to be a leader in that space. The case, as you can see, is fairly thick, and we realise that many of you lead very busy lives, as MBA graduates should. And so I thought I'd provide you with just a quick summary of the case so that you're familiar with the basic concepts. So Ant Financial grew out of the Alibaba Jack Ma business. It was originally the payments engine there, but it's now a much, much bigger entity with a very broad, not just financial services offer, but lifestyle offer as well. And I'll give you more detail of that in a moment. At the end of 2017, the estimated valuation of the business was 75 billion US dollars. So it's a very sizable enterprise. It's grown remarkably quickly, as digital businesses do. And I think there's a lot that we can learn about how we can leverage the power of the digital economy by looking at this case. So what we have here from the Ant Financial website is a little bit of an overview of their business. You can see there the lovely little ant logo, and the idea is that by doing lots of small things well, you can make a big difference. You can see that fundamental to their understanding of where they can add value is a view that access to credit is important for the creation of wealth, and their vision there brings small and beautiful changes to the world, very much leveraging in the digital economy the power of the internet and big data, the ecosystem of financial service offerings, a strong focus on SMEs and individuals, a segment that traditionally was underserved by existing financial service organisations within China, and a strong focus on inclusive financial services, linked into that previous point about SMEs and individual customers, an awareness that the way that they could create value, the purpose for what they do, is to make sure that people who wouldn't otherwise have access to financial services are able to get them. And then if we come down to the next line here, you get a sense of where they are and where they've come from, where they're going. They started as the payment engine within Alibaba, the online shopping site there, out of Jack Ma's awareness that the key issue in building his online shopping business was solving the issue of trust. They started as an escrow service, holding money in the transaction until delivery, and in that sense building trust in online purchases. They then realised that there was an opportunity to assist people by providing them with ways of managing the small amounts of cash that were left at the end of a transaction based on the money that they'd put in at the beginning. And that allowed them to open up a service which in English, the Chinese equivalent is lost treasure. So finding a way to help people be rewarded for small investments, little bits of cash that was left over. They then moved that into the world of financing, and in particular loans for small businesses. As we said before, a traditionally underserved element in the Chinese financial service system. That then took them neatly into the world of insurance, again linking back to their origins in terms of the payment system. The next step from there was to use the power of big data, as we see up here, to develop a credit reference service, which the Chinese government was trying to encourage, but there were really only meaningful credit records for about a third of the adult population. And so what Ant Financial did is using big data and some very clever analytics, develop a evolving in real-time credit reference system, initially for the loans they were offering, but then leveraging that into a whole series of other services for people, including things like not needing to pay a deposit for a hotel booking because your credit reference was suitable, that you didn't need that deposit to be made, and even into areas like the way that you might apply for a visa for travel to Singapore, for example, where a high enough credit score would speed through your visa application. The next point that I'd like to make is about the breadth and depth of the offer that Ant Financial has created. So you can see in this diagram here that offering. So we spoke a moment ago about their origins in online shopping. They have moved into the ability to book taxis and pay for transportation, to top up mobile phones, to access credit, money transfer domestically and internationally, to pay for shopping, which is that and other retail services. On their app, you can do things like book a doctor's appointment. They have learning opportunities there. We focused before on the financial services piece. They provide services that link you into the community and provide that public welfare piece, and then the ability to pay for dining and gaming. It's become a complete offer, but it started from that simple understanding of the need to solve the trust issue in those early financial services transactions on Alibaba. One of the things that comes out for me in reading this case is the importance of social purpose, and Ant Financial understanding the role that it plays in society and addressing that by actually looking to solve the jobs that the customer needs done. So the place that we're left at the end of the case is with Ant Financial struggling with three fairly tricky issues. The first is, how do they internationalise? They've already started that. They're in Thailand, they're in South Korea. They've got plans to move to the rest of Southeast Asia, South Asia and Africa, but they're trying to figure out the best way to do that. They're struggling a little with the expansion of their rural offering, which they see as really important from a financial inclusiveness perspective. And very significantly, the third point is that they're really grappling with how they make sense of the regulatory environment, not just in China, but linked into their international expansion as well. So what we have here with Ant Financial is, on the one hand, a fantastic example of leveraging the capability of the digital economy, and on the other hand, a great example of the complexity that comes with trying to work in that space. Hopefully this summary has given you a little bit of a background if you don't get time to read the entire case. However, if you can find the time, there's so much interesting stuff in here. I'd love you to come to our day on Thursday, having at least skim-read through this so that you're familiar with the concepts, and then we can have a really rich and I think quite powerful discussion on the day. I'll see you then. Thank you.